Mwah. Welcome back. You know the Excadrill. I get a random number, and then I make a meal inspired by the Pokemon with that number. We're going to open it up a few generations this time, bring in some from Gen 3. I love a bit of Ruby and Sapphire. So let's rock and roll.
Who's that Pokémon?
Azumarill. It's a cute Pokemon. Like Peekablu's evolution. That's really bringing it back. If you were there for the first Pokemon movie and the rumors going around, Meryl used to be known as Peekablu. Let's read its dex entries for a bit of inspiration. Okay, Silver. When it plays in water, it rolls up its elongated ears to prevent their insides from getting wet. Okay, so it rolls up into a little ball. It has those really cute little bubble things on the bottom of its body. You know, it looks like it's got white bubbles floating up to the top. There are these really cute little Japanese desserts that are like, they're like spherical water balls, and then they usually have like sweet things inside of them. I think they're a water cake or a teardrop cake. Raindrop cake. Oh, these are really cute. I have absolutely no idea how to make them. Oh, okay. So it is literally just gelatin and water, and then you make like a flavoring to go on the top. And you can make different kinds of fillings. People use fruits, cherry blossoms, different kinds of edible flowers, not flour. Flowers and flour are different things. I could do like a blueberry sauce to go on top of it. I've seen some of these raindrop cakes that have a brown sugar caramel-esque kind of sauce that gets poured over the top. So if I was to do a blueberry sauce, you get the blueberry from the Azumarill and then the translucency from the jelly cake underneath. And then you've got that ombre kind of effect. And you've got the bubbles. I think that's what we're going to do. This could be nice. Here's all the ingredients you will need. Full quantities are in the description. Bloom your gelatin by pouring it over some of your water, giving it a stir, and letting it sit for about 15 minutes. Heat your sugar and remaining water over the stove until all the sugar is dissolved, and then mix in your gelatin until fully incorporated. Pour your mixture into your mold and leave it to set in the fridge overnight. While that's setting, we'll make our syrup. Combine the water and sugar in a 2:1 ratio and heat over the stove, stirring until the sugar is fully dissolved. Once dissolved, stop stirring and bring the sugar to a boil, letting it cook until the syrup has thickened, brushing down the sides occasionally with a wet pastry brush. Stir through a few drops of your blue food coloring and leave it to cool. Once your cake is set, unmold your gelatin, and decorate. I didn't end up going with agar powder because I thought that using gelatin would end up clearer. At least that's what the internet was telling me, but as you can see, it's just a little bit yellow on the inside. Might be because of the amount of gelatin powder I used. Next time, if I was going to make it next time, I'd probably experiment with agar powder or use a little bit less gelatin. I was going to try and include blueberries in it as well, but one fun thing about blueberries is that blueberries actually turn out purple when you cook them or crush them or juice them. So if I wanted this light blue Azumarill color, I had to use just blue food coloring and sugar, essentially. It's normally served with brown sugar syrup and a roasted soybean flour. So instead of that, I opted for icing sugar, which kind of brings in the white of the Azumarill, and the blue sugar syrup. Brown sugar is just white sugar with molasses, so really you're not losing too much of the flavor. It really only adds a sweetness. But this is jiggling everywhere. I'm really gonna have to give this a taste. I mean, it's really light. It just tastes like sugar water. I'm sure that with some fruits inside, with some of the roasted soybean flour, with an actual brown sugar sauce, this would be delicious. But on its own, it just tastes like sugar water. But it looks cool. I mean, it looks nice and clear here. It's just doesn't quite look that when it's all condensed together. You know what? I probably should have added a little bit of purple food dye. I know that when you add purple food dye to a buttercream, it offsets the yellow from all the butter. So if I'd added a little bit of purple food dye into the gelatin mix, I reckon we could have gotten something really nice and clear. But otherwise, this was fun. It's a nice and easy one. I recommend you try it. And if you do, let me know in the comments. And I will catch you next time. Wibble wobble, jelly on a plate. Wibble wobble, jelly on a plate.